Good afternoon. This is a demonstration of the Dejapay Pro software point of sale system created by Deja Vu Systems, an iPOS systems company. My name is Kevin O'Connell. I am the lead tech of the Dejapay Pro software division out of Puerto Rico. Today's demonstration will be about the restaurant vertical. Okay, first and foremost, I start off with our hardware. Since Deja Vu is first and foremost a software hardware provider of credit card machinery, we provide the terminals that go into the establishment that connect to the point of sale. The only question you want to ask yourself or your merchant base is whether or not you want a printer or do you want to be mobile. So we offer 6 types of hardware right now. The 2 countertop versions are the Z8 and the Z11 you see on my screen here. The Z8 and the Z11 are what we call tri-com or tri-communications, Ethernet, dial, and Wi-Fi built in, tethered to power AC cords, touchscreen, PCI DSS, EMV chip, contactless, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and debit injection capable. Same goes for the Z11 here. The only difference between the Z8 and the Z11 is a touchscreen where you can load logos, signature capture. Signature capture can be uploaded to our back office for indefinite repositories of the images of the signatures. And coming soon, the Android device. Not sold today, but coming soon, hopefully within the next 30 to 60 days. Second set of terminals would be the wireless terminals. The Z9 Wi-Fi or 3G, 4G, which has a printer. It is portable, it has battery operation, and all the other features that I mentioned earlier in the Z8, Z11, PCI, DSS, EMV, smart chip, contactless, Apple Pay, Google Pay, debit injectable. And then the other portable terminal is the Z1. This is the first one I'm showing without a printer. So if you had a no printer option as one of the questions and portable, this would be your only option, the Z1. Z1 is capable of Wi-Fi and 3G cellular communication. Because it is printerless, we assume that the point of sale or some other place in the connectivities of hardware has a printer already established, either our register, which I'll get to in a moment, or an Epson, Citizen, Star external receipt printer. The other 2 devices we have are the pin pads, or the what I would call card readers, which are printerless and also only communicate via Ethernet. And they would be powered via that same cord via a split cable to a outlet jack with a micro USB cable. The pin pad terminals, the Z3 and the Z6, are counterparts to the Z11 in such a sense that the Z3 is function key navigated, where the Z6 is touchscreen navigated, much like the Z11. All 6 devices are compatible with our point of sale. Again, to refresh, the only question you want to ask yourself or your merchant is, do you want to be portable? Yes or no? Do you want a printer? Yes or no? A lot of the places that want to do pay at the table or under one roof Wi-Fi where they're carrying around a device, I recommend highly the Z9 Wi-Fi only, or if you want to get a SIM card option, the other version of it is the Z9 3G, 4G Wi-Fi. All right, with that, that's our hardware selections. We also offer and connect to a back office portal. The DeNovo Cloud system is an already existing portal. It offers back office terminal transaction upload reporting. It also offers features like a call me button where the terminal can press a button and trigger a help desk email where the help desk would then call the merchant back. We also offer signature capture repositories. I touched on that a second ago. If your terminal, the Z6, Z11, Z9, Z1, and also an iPad or Android tablet in combination with the Dejapay Pro have a touchscreen, you can capture a signature and upload it as a repository, and the images are stored indefinitely as long as the merchant exists with Dejapay. Batch notification, you would get an email or a text message or an SMS message via the Apple or Android version of DeNovo if your batch is successful immediately. Dejapay, which is what we're here for today, the software that's included in the inventory that's included with DeNovo. And we have a loyalty backup. We also have some auto load features where the terminals that are connected, one of those 6 devices I talked about earlier, can auto load and look for downloads automatically on a daily basis. So if we wanted to push out an auto close time or a change to the header, the merchant wouldn't need to be involved with a partial download. The auto load occurs after every successful batch. Risk management tools where if you want to get a trigger email notification if you go above or below a $200 credit or refund. And then text messaging or communications, the call me feature triggers a type of ticket system where messaging back and forth between the sales agent, the help desk, and the merchant can all happen, as well as that text notification, SMS notification of batch reports, et cetera, et cetera. So that is the back office portal as it was before we instituted the inventory. So this is de novo. This visual you see here is, as it stands today, the administrative view of de novo, where the sales agent or ISO would have access to all the merchants and all the locations, and the inventory and creation of inventory for any particular merchant. I'm going to log out of this view real quick because mostly what you want to see is the merchant perspective. The merchant perspective is a little more streamlined. The same username and password used to get into this back office is also used to get into the register software. The software is available for free today at Google Play and iTunes, respectively, compatible with both Android and iOS. This is the merchant portal, or the de novo back office, as it stands from inventory on the left-hand side all the way up to my merchant, are the things that are currently available for any standalone terminal. Like I said earlier, transaction reporting, call me's, loyalty, all the transactions you can see on the screen based on day, terminal, location. You can parse this all out and see all the transactions you want to see over a given period of time. If I want to slice and dice it by terminal, I can. If I go up to the locations up on the top, I can see all my multiple locations. I can drill into any one particular location and see a snapshot of the credit card transactions. If I go to the summary page up on the top, I can see quarterly, monthly, weekly. Every time I click on one of these buttons to change the timestamps, it dynamically refreshes the rest of the data all the way down the screen. And this is just standalone terminal stuff. Once I click on inventory, now I'm talking about the register and the point of sale. Underneath inventory, I've got 4 verticals, 4 types of inventory. For demo purposes, I'm going to use the restaurant watering hole. I've got 463 items uploaded into this. It's a demo I've been using since 2 years ago. This is complete. This is a complete table service restaurant. It supports tax. It supports different payment tool tenders, cash, check, credit, debit. If it goes through the credit card machine, you can use it in the register. Or I can disable the credit card machine and use as just pop the cash drawer and stick a paper check or a paper gift card or a gift certificate in the drawer. In the register settings, we also support custom fee surcharging or cash discount, as it were. If you're more interested in that specifically, we can have a discussion specifically about how the register is a fantastic, what I call required talking points of a cash discount register. We also support discounts, 10% off, $1 off, $10 off. We support happy hour, time-triggered discounts of a percentage. If you select a certain amount of items to have a certain percentage off from Tuesday to Thursday between 4 and 8 p.m., we can do that. We support that. Categories. Inside each category, we support images or uploading of images. We also support hierarchy values of categories, parent of, different types of categories. If that's the case, I'm on a demo. If you'd like to do that parent category of categories. We also support the same things for items. Inside each item is image uploads. A lot of other things we can do in a particular item. We can do descriptions. We can do barcodes. If I give it a number of a barcode right here, it'll show up right on the screen, right on the top corner, where I can test the barcode right here on my entry. We support quantity thresholds, minimum quantity, maximum quantity, quantity on hand. If you want to do a critical inventory report, you would use this feature. We also have cost to the vendor versus price to the consumer. If you want to do profit margins and reporting of profit versus cost. Kitchen printers, bar printers, or 1 to 2 printers per item. We support that. The Epson, the Star, the Citizen, the Royal. We can also use a Dejapay device as a credit card machine receipt printer or a kitchen or bar printer. We use our own coding to tell the Dejapay Z9 or Z8 or Z11 to be a kitchen printer. So if you want to be just a tablet merchant where you have a tablet and a Dejapay, that's all you need, really. That's the minor install right there of the most efficient, easiest install. One tablet, one Dejapay. You can be a receipt printer, you can be a kitchen printer, you can be mobile. Z9 and a tablet, and you're on your way. We also support modifiers, multi-level modifiers, modifier tables, a database full of table of modifiers. So if I select and create one, it exists for any other item. So I can just go back in and reselect it instead of having to key it in. We support forced modifiers, where you have to select something to get out of that modifier. Or we support multiple selections. So there's a whole list of modifiers. You can pick and choose 3, 4, 5 of these modifiers, and it'll add up. We also support by modifier, a price per modifier. So maybe your price for the item is 0, but a modifier can be triggered to actually drive the price. And then here, item discounts. This is where we spoke about the auto discounts. If I want to add this one particular item to a happy hour, I create a happy hour discount here, where it's triggered by day, date, or time. I can do a percentage off, maybe 5% off, auto triggered by start time, 1400, end time, 1700, day, date of the week. Now every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, between 1400 and 1700, this item will be 5% off. And that's how auto discounts work. Once that's saved and I go through my data entry, I'm done. Another way to import all my items is a CSV or an Excel sheet. If you've got a previous POS system, or maybe your vendor has a spreadsheet you can import your items directly from a spreadsheet. We also have an import directly from a Clover point of sale. We're getting an import from Square point of sale as well. So if you want to move off of any one of those other proprietary devices, we can have you up and running in less than an hour, as long as you have a Dejapay device. Maybe overnight sale of a Dejapay, and you'll be up and running on a new point of sale the next day. Here's all your items. Down below items, we get the supplier database, and then your table layout. We support service by table. So if you want to add a table, you can give it the location that it resides in, what number table it is, the name of the table, my favorite table, whatever you want to call it. How many seats are added? If you put a number of seats, we also support pay by guest or split check by guests. If you select what seat they're sitting at per item, round, circular, square, or rectangular, auto colors. If you want to assign a specific server to it, and only this one server can have access to table number 25, we can do that as well. Your operators, we support clock in, clock out, break in, and break out as well. Timesheet control, exportable to Excel. Send it off to your payroll company. Inside the operators are permissions. Operators get permissions whether they can or can't do certain things. We've got about 8 permissions here. That pretty much covers all of our stuff. We don't want to get too detailed with roles and permissions of roles and 25 different roles that one user can be. It's very simple. 4-digit passcode, permissions you're allowed to do, off you go. Once you're here, you're ready to go log into your register. So I'm going to launch my register in the background here with a file sharing program, and I'm going to demonstrate our software on our Android. The Android device that we use is a register all-in-one where peripheral ports are on the back. We've got RJ11 ports, Ethernet ports, the tablet embedded on the front with a register receipt tape and a customer-facing LCD display. And once that is uploaded, I'm now launching my software. Like I said earlier, it is available for free today from the Google Play Store. It gives you an icon right on your desktop. Once you launch the software, you'll be asked for the same username and password that I spoke about earlier. Once you put in the username and password, from this screen right here, you'll get a wizard. Once the user gets a wizard, usually on day one of their install, we would help absolutely with the install. I choose the restaurant vertical. This is what the wizard kind of looks like and feels like. And then you're launched with that operator ID one more time. And I'm going to go right back up to the wizard again. Because this has completed the wizard, it remembers that. Name of the register in my establishment. If I had server stations or bar stations or hostess stations, I would call this register whatever I wanted to call it. If it's just one register in an entire establishment, that's all that it is. Maybe it's a cashier station. Call it whatever you want. What peripheral devices are attached to this point of sale, to this particular register? We've got credit card terminals, we've got receipt printers or kitchen printers, we've got a cash drawer. We also support USB and or Bluetooth barcode readers. This is a restaurant, so I don't have that enabled. What terminals or devices am I going to use? I'm using a Dejapay Z9. It's portable. It's Wi-Fi. It's right here, battery operated. I also have the option of adding more terminals. If I had multiple stations or multiple terminals, I can send my sale to any transaction or any terminal to run the transaction that I want. Hit next, and what printers do I have available at my disposal? If I add more, I've got, like I said, Star, Royal, Epson, Citizen. I can use a Dejapay terminal as a printer as well. This particular register that I'm using has an internal receipt printer as well. I can go either route. I'll add my Dejapay device here to be my receipt printer. And I just select from the list of terminals that I have available to me what type of printer I want it to behave like. I'll be a receipt printer, bar printer, and the kitchen printer. I can test it if I want to and send a ping to my printer and it prints out a test receipt on my Z9. I know it's successful, I know it's on, I know it's online. And then I say okay to the wizard and move on to the next one. I can remove some of these as well if it gets too overloaded. And hit next. Test my cash drawer, pop it. Test my order types or go into my order types and configure, activate or deactivate things I might not use. Maybe I don't do delivery. I'll turn it off or just remove it altogether. Maybe I just have table service and to go and that's it. So I can configure these order types as well. Hit next. This is the last page of my wizard. What kinds of things do I want this particular register to do or not do? Pretty much for a restaurant, I'm going to turn it all on. Tips, tip adjust, split payments by guests, employee time tracking, shift control, log in, log out as a user, and then save the register. Now it's going to launch me right into my restaurant point of sale. Like I said earlier, I support clocking in, clocking out, break in, break out over here on the right left side. Once I'm clocked in, I put my username to access the cart, and I'm ready to start my work. This is the Dejapay Pro restaurant cart screen. I've got categories on the bottom, items on the top. I can go into my settings up on the top. If I don't like the way this looks, maybe it's too much blank space, I'll go up here, go to manage items, edit item size, and I'll make the items bigger. Sync it back up to the cloud to save my settings. The sync refresh rate is 5 to 8 seconds, sometimes less. When I do a sale, it's immediately available in the back office. Log back in. Now my items are a little bit bigger. I've got less blank space. It's a big screen. It's an 11-inch tablet, so I've got a lot of space to fill up. As I get into more categories, my items take up more space because I have more items. So now I've got more and more items. Once I drill up an item, there's my modifiers, my temperature, no dressing, barbecue sauce, extra bacon. I'm good to go on that burger. Adds it to the cart over on the right-hand side. Once I hit save, it'll ask me what table I want to send it to. Here's my table layout. I've got a couple tables already seated. So now I select from the ones that aren't seated. Now it adds it to table 4. My kitchen printout just printed out on my Z9. I can go run it over to the kitchen. If it was a Star printer, I could print out in the back. The cook would grab his own printer. Add some more items. Or another table. Somebody else is seated. Or it's a different server. I log out. Up on the top right, and I log in after I save my seat as a server. Server doesn't have access to certain things, or the bartender. Now I'm going to start making drinks. Bar alcohol, beer, can, PBR, 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 Rolling Rock, save it to bar tab. I don't want to save it to table. I want to change my table order here to a bar tab. I'm a bartender, so I'm going to save it to bar tab. Now it's saved. I can support a pre-auth on bar tab, where if I saved it just now, it would ask me for a credit card for a pre-authorization. I can go up and put up $50 of pre-authorization, and once I hit 50, it'll ask me to authorize again. If I want to drill in, do some more orders, do some more drinks, hit my modifiers, hit add, another bar tab, or change it to go. Maybe this is now leaving. To go order, and now it's time to pay. I'll go directly to pay. Here's my payment tenor type. I'll hit credit. It sends the transaction to whichever terminal I have pre-configured. I'll use the Z9, and my Z9 is now running my credit card sale. Run the credit card sale on the Z9. It approves. I have a couple different settings here where it's uploading a customer copy to my own text messaging service. And I'll get a text of the receipt where the merchant copy is left right here. And it's approved here as well on the screen itself. I can even see the receipt that I just got printed, and it's still printed. You can hear it. The customer copy is right here on the screen. I can see the tip suggestions, everything that I would see on my piece of paper right here. If I want to go up and see now how fast all that information synced itself up to the back office, I go into my inventory. If I scroll up, I can go to sales history and see the sale that I just did right there. That's the exact same one that I just did. 5:44 p.m. I expand this, I can see all the items that I just sold. This was my Bud Light draft. And there's the item right there. There's a copy of the receipt right here. I click on that little copy. This is another way I can get all my receipts electronically. I can store it all up here indefinitely. If it was a signature on the screen, it would have uploaded into this receipt. This was contactless, so it didn't ask me for a signature. This link sends it right back to my terminal record where I can see the transaction in my batch of credit cards. Here's all my sales that I did earlier today. They're all synced right up to the cloud in 3 to 5 second refresh rates. Back to the register. I'm going to go and close out some open tables. So I'll go to my table orders, pull them back in, or go this way. I can go to the tables this way and select this one. And this one's ready to pay. Now I'll do cash. Exact change, or maybe they give me $10, $3 change, pay it. Sends the same cash receipt to my Z9. Close that ticket. If I need to Z out or X out, close my shift, I go to the ... more button. I can do reports, X tape. Here's my midday shift change. I'm not even going to print that. I'm just going to continue and go back, minimize my register. I'm going to show you that X tape. Same back office here. I just did that X literally 4 seconds ago. There it is. Already here in the back office. That's how fast we refresh. This is the same thing you saw on the screen of the register. Going back to the register one more time. I'm in some settings here. I can go to reports. I can see the sales list. Password protection, because I'm logged in as the bartender right now. So now I need to change my password to my manager password. Sales list is going to queue up on the left. If I need to do a refund on any of these sales that have already been purchased, either today or however long ago that I want to go back, if I pull up a refund ticket, it pulls up on the right-hand side. I hit the receipt or reprint it. If I go back to info, I can refund it on the bottom, or I can void it if it was today. 1, 2, 3, 4 password protection. I can refund it by item. If I had multiple items in here, I can pick and choose which items I wanted to do. Or I can just refund by a specific dollar amount. Maybe I just wanted to give them $2 back because it was warm. Whatever reason, I'll input it right here in the next. Warm beer. Confirm it. It'll send that $2 back to the credit card transaction. Z9 lights up to do a refund. I'll put it back on my Apple Pay. It dings, it approves, it sends it off to the processor. My Z9 is now done doing its transaction. And on the receipt screen, here it is. It's done on the register. Reprint that receipt if I want to. Close that off. Get out of my history. Let's say I'm done for the day now. I want to go back to all my pending sales and see what I need to close out or get rid of. If I wanted to void anything, I can remove and void it from here. I can add items, or I can void it from here, ... void order. If it's pre-payment, it just removes it from the system and sends a void order to the kitchen. Say I want to close out my Z, even if I know there's pending orders still out there, I can do that. It's a configurable feature. So I'm just going to Z out my register and leave these things pending. Maybe it's a manager having a party or something. They're still here. So I'll go here to ... close my Z. It's got two terminals that it wants to look at now. It's going to say one of them's not settled, one of them is disconnected. It'll give me an option. On the bottom, I can run a settlement to two terminals, or I can go one by one. I can do my tip adjustments from right here as well. I know I have some credit card transactions I need to tip adjust. So I'll go individually to each one of these things. I'm just going to do a 10-cent tip. So you can see how quickly it works. 12-cent tip, 15-cent tip, $1 tip. Now they're all ready to go. I'll confirm the 4 tips. It sends all 4 tips to my terminal. Sends an upload back to the de novo back office to update any sales things. As soon as that's done, comes back to the register and says I'm ready to perform my settlement. It's doing all 4 consecutively, not congruently. All right, now I'm ready to close my shift, perform my batch, sends my batch to the bank. Once my batch is done on my terminal, it prints out. I can also get another batch report on the screen as soon as that's done. And now I'm ready to end my day. Count my drawer. My drawer pops open, and I count how much money I've got in my drawer. Hopefully it's $10,000, like you see here. That'll be a good day. And confirm. There's my Z. Let's finish. And it locks me out for the day. And I go back to my back office, and I can see all my Z's and X. So I'm just going to do a refresh right here. And you'll see the same page. You'll see the Z right on the top of the page. This is my end of day Z. Right there. The same thing you saw in the register is now in the back office. Other things you can do in the back office. We've got the item control. We saw that earlier. We've got critical inventory reporting on the left-hand side of the dark purple. We've got the X and Z reports. Showed that. We also have a consumer database. If in the register I'm running a sale and I want to attach a consumer to it, either it's a bar tab or it's just I want to, for whatever reason, you want to put a consumer on it, there's a consumer dot here on the top where I'll pull either a list of already existing or I'll just create a brand new one. I'll attach it and use it in the order, and that person is now part of this order. And if this person comes back often, I can use this consumer database in the back office here. Hold on, let me pull that back up again. I can see what kind of sales they've done over history and see what kind of things that I need to buy. Maybe I'll put it up to the hostess stand when this guy comes in. Would you like your usual, Jose? Whatever reason, we can also export this data, or you can export it, copy and paste it into a spreadsheet, use it for marketing. We also have on the register manual entry items, where if I don't have an inventory item, I can either add it from this big dark black circle or a plus symbol, or I can go to this plus symbol at the top, do a non-inventory entry. $100 item that's not in inventory, it'll say manual over on the right hand side. If I do a long hold on it, I can do features of it. I can do more quantity. I can put a comment on it. I can take tax off or add tax to it. Manual items by default are tax exempt, but if you need to add tax, you can add tax. Replace that, and it adds it over here. Now there's tax on the bottom. If I do a percentage here down the bottom, these are my discounts. Manager comp, so it's 100% off. I don't want to do that. Pay it, send it to a table. Now if I want to split orders, I'll go back out to another table where there's actually people sitting, pull up a table, go to a table that's got people sitting on it, and I see little heads next to my items. There's 2 orders, so I'll say seat number 1 has the burger and seat number 2 has the fish. When I want to go to pay, I do partial payment down here on the bottom. I can do guest number 1 and pay for just the burger. If I want to do cash or however much I want to do, I'll do $22, whatever, how much they're doing. Enter. How do I want to pay it? I'll say cash for this one. $50. They get 22 and change. Pay it. Sends the cash transaction receipt to my terminal. It's okay there. Go back. Pay the other one out. Partial payment gets 2. Pay that by credit card to this terminal. So however you want to do your pay, guess. Sends it through to the processor, approves it on my register screen, and this one's done. Close that one out. Couple things in the back here in the settings. We can refund, I showed you that earlier. We can refund blind with no items attached whatsoever. Just set a specific dollar amount to the terminal and do a refund this way. I got the Z, I got my managing of items. I can even go as far as going into the settings and do all of my inventory editing from the register itself. So I can go to items and scroll through all my items, change prices, add images, do the same for categories, go into my categories, change or edit items or images, add more discounts, add more modifiers or edit my modifier groups, add or edit my order types. All the things that I did in the back office, I can also do on the register. So maybe you're a person that doesn't want a laptop or a desktop or doesn't have one handy. You can do all the editing right here on the registers as well. Tip adjust, I showed you that earlier. In another way, there's 2 different ways to get there. Drawer operations, cash in, cash out, drop money, take money, no sale, cash drawer pops. And that's about it, folks. This is a restaurant vertical, Dejapay Pro. If there's questions, please email me at kevin@ipospr.com. You can call me at 877-358-6797, extension 133. Have a great day. Thanks, guys.